the DCA, and as a result, the estimate now is 71,000 PAAD recipients are getting LIHEAP benefits. That's the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program benefits this year, which in turn helps New Jersey Shares help those who don't get LIHEAP. So we had some real success stories this year. We're leading the nation in this kind of thing, and frankly, it all comes about because of the leadership of Governor Corzine. So please help me welcome Governor Corzine. Turn it over to our experts.
All right, we're gonna.
Who are the experts? I want those experts.
We're gonna fire up the outbound calls, and then the tech support people will give us a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then you will hear music hold off, and that's when we know we're live. Jane will speak for 3 or 4 minutes, kind of reintroducing people as more and more people come on the line. And then you'll turn to the governor and ask him to do a short introduction. It's kind of redundant. You have to remember at the beginning, a couple of 5-10 minutes, especially because you literally have hundreds of people joining the call, and of course, they don't know what's going on. So we have fired up the calls.
Commission with support. Are you ready to start it? I can go and do the countdown now.
I think so.
Okay, great. 3, 2, 1. Music hold ended.
Good morning and welcome to AARP's Teletown Hall. This is Jane Margison. I'm the Communications Director with AARP New Jersey. You're joining at Teletown Hall today with Governor Jon Corzine, who is here in our state office, along with a room full in our live studio audience of AARP staff and volunteers. Again, this is Jane Margison with AARP New Jersey. You're joining a live Teletown Hall today with Governor Jon Corzine. We're going to be talking about state budget issues like New Jersey Shares, utility relief, preventable medical errors, family care, and other issues, property taxes. We've got a whole room full of people here. We've got 2 volunteers who are going to be asking live questions of Governor Corzine. And during the call, if you're just joining us, again, this is AARP New Jersey with a live Teletown Hall with Governor Jon Corzine. Governor Corzine is going to be taking some of your questions live during the call. You will have that opportunity to ask a question of the governor. If you're just joining us, this is Jane Margison with AARP New Jersey. This is a live Teletown Hall with AARP and Governor Jon Corzine. We're going to be talking about state budget issues related to AARP members, utility relief programs. We're going to be talking about preventable medical errors, family care. We now have 1,400 people on the line. We're expecting thousands more, so please do stand by. We're going to be getting started momentarily with Governor Corzine. During the call, you will be able to ask a question of the governor. We will have AARP representatives who will be available to take your questions, and we will be taking some of your questions live on the air. You will be able to press *3 to ask a question of the governor during the call at any time. If you're just joining us, this is Jane Margison, Communications Director with AARP New Jersey. I'm here with Governor Jon Corzine live in our audience, the studio audience at AARP in Plainsboro. We now have 1,600 people who have joined us on the call. We're going to get started in just a moment with the governor. We're going to be taking your questions. We're talking about state budget issues, including preventable medical errors. We're talking about utility relief programs, family care, property taxes, and a number of other issues. Please do stay on the line with us. We're going to be taking calls from you today as well. You'll be able to press *3 on your telephone, and you will be able to ask a question of the governor. We're expecting thousands of people on the call today. So far we have well over 1,600. We're now, I'm told, up to over 2,000 people who are on the call. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. And again, this is Jane Margison with AARP. I'm the Communications Director here. I'm here at our AARP office in Plainsboro, sitting right next to Governor Jon Corzine. Governor, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. Would you like to say a quick hello to those well over 2,000 people who have joined us so far?
Well, good morning, everyone, and I thank you for getting up early on a Monday morning to talk about fun things like a budget. We have gone through a very challenging time as a nation, and certainly as a state, with regard to our budget issues. But as we have addressed those budget issues, and that means shrinking our budget, because we are going to be spending something approaching $3 billion less in the upcoming year than what we spent in the current fiscal year because of the recession, we've had to give emphasis to the things that we value most. And I will say that when we put our budget choices together, we think about how we educate our children and how we protect those who are most vulnerable and who are most needy of support from state government, and that is very much our seniors. And so we have, believe it or not, expanded our property tax relief by expanding our senior freeze to higher income levels, to make sure that all our middle-class seniors have an opportunity to have their property taxes frozen. We have made sure that for moderate and middle-income families, there is substantial help with regard to electricity and gas and power choices by expanding our LIHEAP program in conjunction with the federal government. We've expanded New Jersey Shares, which is a backstop, a safety net for all families that are struggling with those bills. And we've made sure that we're doing everything we can to protect our healthcare system more broadly. Our family care issues, which Jane talked about, we're expanding access for moderate income families, lower middle income families, to have access at family care while we're insuring every child. This will help keep our hospitals more economically viable. It will make sure that our society is a little more secure in protecting you. There's a lot of things we can talk about, the rebalancing of our opportunities for seniors to stay at home in their communities and the places where they raise their children as opposed to nursing homes. All of these things we're supporting in our program. We haven't cut our PAD program or Senior Gold. All of the things that are focused on our seniors have been stabilized and maintained, but we have to make sure that we keep mindful that we don't turn our backs on our children, and particularly with our funding for education, because that flows right into property tax increases. So look forward to your questions. I'm really thrilled to be here on a Monday morning, and we'll get going with you all before we get to the legislature.
Very good, thank you. That was Governor Jon Corzine, live from AARP in Plainsboro. This is Jane Margison with AARP. If you're just joining us, this is a live teletown hall with AARP and Governor Jon Corzine. We're talking about state issues that affect you, AARP members. We're talking about family care, we're talking about preventable medical errors, we're talking about property taxes, New Jersey Shares, and other utility relief programs. We now have well over 3,000 people on the call today, live here with Governor Jon Corzine. Governor Corzine, we want to thank you on behalf of AARP for your ongoing support of the statewide nonprofit New Jersey Shares. We mentioned that a moment ago, but for those just joining us who may not have heard your introduction, New Jersey Shares helps thousands of people with their utility costs, and we thank you particularly for the $10 million that you provided last year so that the oft-forgotten middle class could keep their homes warm this past winter. Now, I'm sure you know that that money was spent very rapidly, and many struggling families could not take advantage of those funds, showing, of course, how much those funds are needed. Can you tell us a little bit about how your administration is going to address utility relief in your proposed budget right now?
Well, New Jersey Shares is exactly what you said, Jane. It is for the middle class families that don't